Hey everybody, it's Coach Shay, and with this challenge, we're also focusing on eating better. I'm not going to necessarily track exactly what you eat, but the goal is to make better food choices so that you can sustain it for longer. If you've trained with me, you know I don't believe in dieting, so I'd rather help you make some habits that you can actually sustain instead of restricting things from your diet that you want to go back to eating and you know it before you even start. So here's a couple of tips. Number one, we're going to choose smaller plates. Instead of those dinner plates that you typically eat off of, choose a smaller plate. Okay, that's going to help with your portion control from the start. After that, half of that plate is going to be vegetables. So we're going to heap vegetables on half of that plate. That's how you're going to set your plate up. Okay, have vegetables. Protein should be about the palm of your hand. That should cover about a quarter of the plate. Your carbs should be only about maybe like a one hand scoop. Okay, that should cover most of the second half, the last quarter of that plate, and that should be that. Okay, so that's going to be a good rule of thumb when it comes to setting up your plate for eating dinner. Um, that will help tremendously, I think, is just focusing on your portions and making sure you're eating the right amount of protein and things like that. Okay, so that's going to be the first idea. The second tip that we're going to use is you're going to get vegetables in for breakfast and lunch. All right. So I want you to make sure you get vegetables for breakfast and lunch. Find a way to incorporate vegetables into your breakfast. Tomatoes, spinach are great way. Tomatoes and spinach are great things to kind of add. I personally don't eat eggs, but if you like to eat omelets, that's a good way to meal prep where you can make little omelet bolts in muffin tins where you just sit and throw the eggs, throw some spinach, some potato, some tomatoes, some, season it up like you want it. Don't throw too much extra stuff because you don't want to spike the calorie count of those. But you can bake those, and now you have a few easily prepared little egg thing, like mini omelets that you can make and eat. So I know a lot of people love those, but definitely try to hook up and try to find a way to tie in some vegetables to your breakfast and lunch. Okay. Fruit. You can also do fruit for breakfast and lunch. I would prefer that you stay away from fruit for dinner, but figure it out for breakfast and lunch. That's quite all right. All right. So I eat an apple and an orange every day. Every day. Sometimes I'm not so great about making sure I get the orange, but I definitely get the apple in every day. Okay. So that's something that you can adopt. Again, I like to eat my apple after lunch because if you don't take your toothbrush and everything and physically brush your teeth, eating an apple can actually help a lot. So that's kind of one of my tips. But like I said, try to stay away from fruit for dinner. Another thing, we love bananas. Well, I don't, but y'all do. A lot of people love bananas. And yes, they're good for you. Yes, they're high in potassium, but they're extremely, like, they spike your blood sugar like nothing else. Like, okay, so they're high in sugar. So do not sit and think that eating a banana every day is good for you. I would say limit your bananas to 2, maybe 3 a week. Be very careful. Kiwis actually have a lot of potassium in them too if you're looking for an alternative. So those are some things that you can use as tips just to kind of go about improving your nutrition. So those are some of the things we're going to track. Are you eating, is half your plate vegetables? Are you setting your plate up the right way for dinner? And are you eating smaller portions through eating off smaller plates? All right. Set that up. Try to start implementing that and let me know how it's going for you. Okay. So in the way to track it, take a picture of your plate and you can send it to me or put it in the group, whatever you feel comfortable, but also make sure you actually go in your app and track that, you're improving your eating habits through eating that way. All right. Take care.